What currency a society deals in, is a very important teller. It's a very important um, attribute of a people living in that particular, community, that particular society. People can be paid either in money, like wealth, or they can be paid in fame and pride. Countries that have a lot of money, they pay their people in money. Countries that don't have a lot of money, they pay their people in pride. They give them promotions more often than they would give them salary raises. They would give them positions of power more often than they would give them, positions of commanding wealth. And I feel that just categorizing communities on that basis achieves a lot. Just that simple categorization achieves a lot. Because when you think about it, and man, when you think about it, it so happens to come to be that no matter what the nature of the currency is, the fighting that the people will put up to gain more of that currency will nonetheless be just the same. I mean, if a common level of subsistence is provided to people, where there is sustenance of life, it's not that people are dying, then obviously somehow wealth matters more than fame. But as long as that is ensured, which most countries I feel have come to ensure now, and once that is ensured, you will find that no matter what the currency is, if it's currency of pride and fame, or it's currency of money and wealth, people will fight just the same. So in poor countries, you'll have a lot of opportunities to make a name for oneself. Hence, all the fighting, competitive fighting, boxing, and so forth. Now, it might be a stereotypical thing to say, but that is what happens in poor communities, doesn't it? People trying to gain fame one way or the other, the delusions take over their minds, and perhaps it is the economic poverty itself that induces these things. But whatever it is, that becomes a currency that is paid to people, which gives them a feeling of satisfaction and growth, which satisfies their inner needs for validation, one way or the other. That currency will be fought for in the same manner. And it's a beautiful concept. It might seem to someone not very acquainted with this idea that this is just a useful piece of thought, like this is some pseudo-mesmeric shit. But it is not pseudo-mesmeric, because it's very important. Because to control a country, you need to control its currency. And you need to know what the currency of a people is. If you try to give a people who deal in pride a lot of money, they probably wouldn't understand what to do with that money. It happens. It happens in a lot of places. You cannot buy people with money when they don't want money, right? The spiritual people will deal in pride because they want to be the head of the monastery or something. The perverts, similarly, will probably have not a lot of worth for money. They'll deal in acts of perversion. Give them pleasure and they'll all be yours. You have to understand the currency of a people. Human depravity is also a currency. Religion is a currency. You give people feelings of satisfaction and promise them God, and good deeds will be returned for a place reserved for them in heaven. Give them all these promises will become their currency. And if you try to deal with these religious people with money, they will not accept it. You have to understand the currency of a people to control them. To run a country, you'll have to understand the currency that works in that country. Control the religious people with promises of God and heaven. Control the perverted people with promises of human depravity. Control the money-minded folks with money, and control the people looking for power and pride with imaginary positions created to run a government. A local government, regional government, central government, federal government, any and all sorts of government. You understand the currency of a people and you rule them.